In 2019, Robert Downey Jr. stepped down from his role as Iron Man, fundamentally altering the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Why did he step down from the iconic character and leave the MCU? Let's see what he has to say about this. In 2008's first Iron Man movie, directed by Jon Favreau, Downey made his Tony Stark acting debut. After appearing in 2 additional Iron Man films and several other franchise releases, the character came to be identified with the MCU. In Avengers Endgame, Downey Jr.'s final movie, Iron Man makes the ultimate sacrifice. It makes sense to ask how Ironheart's entrance fits into the Iron Man history, and how it varies as Marvel teases her in the lead up to Black Panther 2. A thrilling method to introduce Ironheart into the franchise would be for Downey and his well-known character to pay a visit. The actor, however, has stated in numerous interviews that he is through with the MCU and has moved on to new endeavors, both on and off the screen. For leaving the Marvel Cinematic Universe in the role of Iron Man, Downey has strong justifications. In an interview with Hindustan Times in 2020, Downey claimed that he had exhausted all possibilities for the role. Playing Tony in Iron Man was hard, and I went deep. I had a fantastic run for 10 years that satisfied my creativity. That sentiment has been expressed numerous times by Downey, who declared in September 2020 that he was all done with Marvel films. With regard to his post-Iron Man endeavors, Downey stated that he wanted to concentrate on his humanitarian work, but didn't have the time due to his lengthy shifts on MCU sets. The actor declared, "I'm not just going to sit around in my trailer between setups any longer." Since Iron Man was killed in Avengers Endgame, rumors have been circulating regarding a potential comeback. It makes sense because his debut picture, which restarted the Marvel franchise on film and arguably served to revitalize the superhero genre, was the spark that ignited the MCU. The success of not only the Iron Man standalone films, but also the first 3 MCU eras can be attributed in a large part to Downey's portrayal. His departure actually creates more room for new characters to emerge and take center stage in a larger franchise plot, bringing attention to a wealth of excellent actors. In order to prevent fans' weariness, Downey's departure has helped keep the MCU new. In terms of his personal life, Downey has shown through his statements and talks and interviews that he has given himself the freedom to pursue further acting and producing roles, as well as delve fully into his charitable endeavors. Iron Man will continue to have an impact on the MCU. The character is clearly referenced in more recent films and television shows, where his demise and legacy serves as defining characteristics for future stars like Spider-Man, and also through blatant spin-off character storylines like the upcoming Disney Plus Don Cheadle series Armor Wars. Downey made the proper decision for Iron Man, the MCU, and himself. Because of his workload, Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man, a character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe films, always eats. Robert Downey Jr.'s portrayal of Tony Stark helped make him one of the driving forces behind the MCU's inception and ongoing popularity, and he went on to become one of the industry's biggest names. Before Avengers Endgame killed Iron Man, allowing Downey to leave the Marvel Cinematic Universe, he made 10 appearances over 11 years. Downey played a key role in the development of Tony Stark's persona during his time with the MCU. He was initially drawn to the part because of his connections between his personal experience with addiction and Tony's in the comic book. Even though the MCU skipped over the chapter of Iron Man's life, Downey eventually came to be associated with the brilliant billionaire playboy philanthropist. The actor's eating habits were one of the numerous ways he influenced how Iron Man was portrayed in the MCU. Iron Man from the Marvel Cinematic Universe is well known for his self-assurance, heroic tendency, inventions, quips, and many other things, but Robert Downey Jr.'s Tony Stark depiction also stands out for how much he consumes. Although it wasn't intended, Iron Man's most memorable MCU scenes often include him eating. Tony picked up Robert Downey Jr.'s eating habits while watching the movies. Frequently, the actor brings his food to the set and conceals it so he can eat between scenes. Downey does this out of necessity because the duties of being a leading man can include a demanding schedule without many breaks. Iron Man always ate in the MCU because Downey frequently ate during the scenes as opposed to skipping meals or going without food all day. At first glance, Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man may not appear to eat all that frequently, but this is really pretty typical. The well-known Burger King sequence from Iron Man was included because it holds a special meaning for Downey. In Iron Man 2, in addition to drinking many chlorophyll concoctions and consuming donuts from Randy's Donuts, Stark is also seen consuming pizza. Additionally, there are scenes in the Avengers and Avengers Endgame where Downey is seen eating, such as the post-credit scene at the shawarma joint. Robert Downey Jr.'s eating habits may also influence the character of Iron Man, Being a super rich genius and superhero won't appeal to many viewers, so portraying Iron Man enjoying other snacks could lend the MCU's enduring character some credibility. Downey might be using Iron Man in the same way that Brad Pitt does in his movies, which is continually consume food in order to subtly make his characters more sympathetic. Will the MCU ever recast Iron Man? The events of Avengers Endgame altered the course of the Marvel Cinematic Universe and resulted in two significant deaths, most notably Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr., who gave his life to save the universe. However, now that he is dead and the multiverse offers a variety of possibilities for his return, will the MCU ever recast Iron Man? The Marvel Cinematic Universe has been going strong for more than 10 years, and it all began in 2008 with Jon Favreau's Iron Man, which debuted Robert Downey Jr. as the titular character and established the tone for the following films. As the co-leader of the original Avengers squad with Captain America and the person who ended Avengers Endgame by saving the universe, Tony Stark was established by Iron Man as the main hero of the Infinity Saga, further solidifying his position as a fan favorite in the MCU. Iron Man is also credited with the rise of numerous villains, numerous technological developments, and innovations in the MCU. He also acted as Peter Parker's mentor and father figure. Since Endgame, Iron Man's absence has been mentioned a few times, mostly in Spider-Man: Far From Home. And while the MCU has continued to advance, rumors of the Iron Man comeback have resurfaced. Because of the infinite number of timelines in the multiverse and the concept of variants, the return of deceased characters is now more likely than ever in the MCU's phases 4, 5, and 6. These phases are now collectively referred to as the Multiverse Saga. This has sparked rumors that Iron Man would return to the MCU. But if that were to happen, would Robert Downey Jr. recast him, or would the MCU dare? Why the MCU can't get over Iron Man. Although the Multiverse Saga is now moving on and the MCU is adjusting to a world without Iron Man and the original Avengers team, albeit Hulk, Thor, and Hawkeye are still active but on their own, it hasn't completely moved on from Iron Man. After Avengers Endgame, the MCU connected a new antagonist, Mysterio, Jake Gyllenhaal from Spider-Man: Far From Home, to Tony Stark. This caused Peter to struggle to move on without his mentor, and he continued to rely on Stark technology because he made his suits. However, the conclusion of Spider-Man: No Way Home, he was seen making his suit, finally separating himself from Tony Stark. Thanks to the television series Armor Wars, which we will see one of Tony's worst dreams come true, his technology falling into the wrong hands. With Rhodey, Don Cheadle, having to clean up the damage, Iron Man's legacy will continue to be felt in the Multiverse Saga. Understandably, the MCU has been trying for years to move on from Iron Man, given that he had a significant role in making the MCU what it is today. But it doesn't make it a good thing. Even if Tony Stark is never mentioned again, the MCU is getting ready to welcome an Iron Man replacement with the introduction of Riri Williams, Ironheart, who will later star in her TV show. Additionally, the arrival of Nathaniel Richards, Ironclad, in the near future is now more likely than ever because he's one of Kang's many variations. The MCU currently has a long list of compelling and strong characters who can guide the new era just as well as, or even better, than Iron Man did. But rather than finding a new leader, the MCU currently has a long list of compelling and strong characters who can guide this new era just as well as, or even better than Iron Man did. But rather than finding a new leader, the MCU is concentrating a little too much on replicating Iron Man's legacy and success because its formula has already shown to work. Could anyone play Iron Man as well as Robert Downey Jr.? RDJ's casting is among several that Marvel fans deem perfect, owing to its realism and given that he won the public over with his portrayal of Tony Stark, Iron Man, in the first Iron Man movie. It's extremely doubtful that anybody else will be able to do so as successfully as Robert Downey Jr. did. That's all for now. If you think someone else can play Iron Man as perfectly as Robert Downey Jr., comment down below. Thanks for watching. For more videos like this, subscribe to our channel.